What is forgiveness? I did not believe the weight of it, but with one word, sins are pardoned and the burden is buried. But only for them. For us, we remember. The scars of my first century in this world surpass all the rest to come. My kind are not known to nurture their own. We are cast out to defend ourselves, to understand through experience how to live, how to feed. And I learned. The taste and bite of iron grew on me, of blood and chains, and a pen to keep me caged. And they call us savages. They were beasts in shepherd's clothing, wearing God-given righteousness as armor to reflect their judgment. To them, we were nightmares, creatures of shadow, preying on the innocent, pulling them into darkness. As if they were not a calamity. As if they held love for their own kind. And yet, they hunted us down, strung us up, and branded us demons. If only they saw what they had done. They paved the road to their heaven with graves, and I realized something that would never change. Our world was hell, and we were the damned. But still, I clung to this misery, refusing to break. And I found myself on the streets of Florence, 1470, running for my life once more.
Which way? Follow! Get the crossbow ready!
He's certainly not a bloodsucker, if my crossbow bolt got him.
He could be faking it.
The blood didn't tempt him either. So what is he?
I don't know, but I don't like the way he's looking at me.
We'll put him down with the rest of them. The executions are tomorrow's eve.
No, I think Cosimo will want him. Make sure he doesn't run.
Fine. The other leg, then. Don't worry, creature. This is simply a precaution. Your suffering will be over soon. What was that? What?
What the fuck's that? Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck's going on? What the fuck? Oh my arm! Oh my leg! Shit! I took the piece of bed that way!
No. Calm. I'm not going to hurt you. They've done enough.
You're not human.
What of it? Judging from the smell of your blood, neither are you. How did they know?
I don't know. I've only been here for 3 days. I heard Florence was safe.
Oh, well, whoever told you that lied. Haven't you heard its nickname? The capital of the Sodomites.
Hence why I thought it was safe.
The city is said to be, well, plagued with demonic activity. The townsfolk are hasty about cleansing the country because they believe the sermons and because of the recent murders they can't explain.
By you.
No, not me. My king.
Vampire?
Good guess. Anyone they think isn't human or is practicing witchcraft, they're considered abominations.
I did nothing.
You already look like you don't belong here. Sometimes that's all they need to put a bolt in your leg.
Of course it is.
Let me heal that.
Don't touch me!
And how will you escape from here?
I can heal myself. I just need to take this out.
If you're a malignant, you're not doing it fast enough.
Malignant?
Non-humans.
Well, malignant. I'm just a little tired. I could make do with this.
And make a trail of blood in the process. If someone finds you here, well, this scene doesn't look good for you.
So you come to be a savior, then pin the murders on me.
If you can't run, I might have to. If I heal you, and you can live for another night, or I take you somewhere safe.
You're not taking me anywhere. I'll survive as I have been.
The stubborn ones don't survive in Florence. They'll parade your body around the streets and leave it for the birds. And that's if they're feeling kind.
And you let them.
What else do you expect me to do? Revolt? The rest of us are in hiding. We blend in with humans because we must. You have no standing to judge me. From what I can tell, all you do is run.
I survive.
By running faster than the one behind you. Only that didn't work this time. You were lucky I heard it.
Luck.
You're alive. But you won't be come tomorrow eve if you stay here. My home is close. Let me take you at least for the night. Heal. Have some food and I'll book you passage on the next sailing to France.
Why would you do that?
Because, believe it or not, we're on the same side, and your beauty should be admired instead of feared.
Does that work for all your victims?
I'm not the reason for the bolt. I hear more coming. You need to decide now. Set your stubbornness aside and live or die for nothing.
I had no choice. I could not give humans the satisfaction of besting me. So, I accepted this vampire's help, the first of his kind to save me. His name was Lorenzo Cellini, a sculptor known in a sphere of Renaissance art. And as he carried me atop the roofs, he spoke of the meats he would cook, and the bath he would prepare for me, the linens he wanted to drape me with. And when we reached his home and fulfilled all that he said, he had an interesting proposition.
Better than I pictured.
The clothes.
You dress the clothes. Just standing there. You're a piece of art.
I did not come here for flattery.
Think of it as a perk then. Maybe you'll sleep easier.
Maybe I won't sleep at all.
I'll enjoy the company regardless. I noticed, even in that alley, but your lines are exquisite. In all my years existing, you are the subject I itch to sculpt the most, with or without clothes.
So you had an agenda after all.
It wasn't immediate. I wanted to be rebellious for the night and play hero, but after seeing you, my mind was already sculpting you in the plaster.
How do you think I'd look?
Like a god.
It would be a nice change. Worshipped. What are your arts normally inspired by?
My own past shortcomings. I was told my last piece was too melancholic, and the theme of despair was growing stale.
Humans don't want constant reminders of what life can be. Unfortunately for them, they don't live long. Not as long as us. And they aren't us. They'll never understand.
I agree, but what they can relate to, beauty, unfiltered, raw beauty in its many forms.
Are you alluding to something?
I am.
Then speak your piece.
I have a proposal for you. A contract. I will protect you here, and I'll give you whatever food you want and gifts if it's in my power. You don't have to continue running and praying that the next city will be better. In exchange, be my muse.
Your muse?
Yes. Let me sculpt you. I already have plenty of ideas to experiment with. Poses and clothes and topics that will spark discourse. I knew I was missing something to broaden my skill, to challenge through art. And the answer is finally standing before me. Think of the irony. Humans admiring the form of an incubus, sculpted by a vampire's hands, being moved by demons and relating to demons without even knowing. That alone is tantalizing, is it not?
It is. For your protection and anything I want.
Within reason, of course, but I'll do what I can to please you.
You seem desperate.
And I am. But I can hear from your heart that you are too.
I want my secrets.
Then get better at hiding them. I can help.
You're offering a lot to a stranger you know nothing about. There must be a catch somewhere.
Or maybe you see selflessness as something to be suspicious of. And yes, it makes me wonder what kind of life you've led, but I won't ask that of you. You said you wanted your secrets, and I respect that.
All of that just to pose for you.
I don't think you understand the lengths an artist will go to cling on to inspiration.
I don't.
I can assume trust is a rare thing for you to give, but I have no reason to break it. Only reason to keep it for as long as you allow me.
Then I'll allow you for a week. And then we renegotiate.
Agreed. Make yourself at home.
And I did. Lorenzo gave me his bedroom, and at every turn I challenged his offer. He gave me wines, dressed me in the finest silks, bought me jewels, and entertained every small whim of mine. A week went by, then a month. I thought I would tire being a muse, standing or laying there for hours at a time, frozen in position, watching his eyes trace over me with such silent passion. It was odd, but I came to trust him. I trusted his touches, his kisses. I trusted his restraint when he fed on my blood. I could tell he grew addicted to me, and I relished in it. After a year, I'd become used to his hands and lips, and the world of art became familiar with me. Lorenzo's sculptures were timeless pieces, and his name garnered more attention. And I was the reason. I awoke that inspiration, and I craved more of that power. So I became the best muse he could ask for.
Are you cramping? Should I put a cushion on the chair?
No. It's been hours. I'm hungry.
For what?
Guess.
It's either roasted meat or tart, but we had pheasant yesterday, so I'll guess that you want beef.
Aren't you hungry too?
I always am for you. And that's perfect because I think I'm finished.
How does it look?
Come over and see. I think this might be my best work yet. Your shapes are bewitching.
Is this how you really see me? As a juicer?
Yes, it's too pure to touch, but I must make sure my work is accurate. Every line, every curve, where the small indents can only be felt.
You sound obsessed.
An artist should be. How else can I give it shape?
What are you going to call this one?
What about Letter of Love?
Letter of Love? That's not me. How about Letter's Lust?
Oh, I stand corrected. That sounds more like you.
Doesn't it? Can't get enough of me?
I could never.
No more humans.
Not after tasting you.
Does that mean I'm lucky enough to be only yours?
Do you want to be?
You couldn't have anyone else anyway.
And what's that meant to mean?
That I'll always be at the top of your list.
Now that's very presumptuous of you.
Is it? Without me, you'd be buried in your past, trying to sculpt it back to life.
Unfortunately, that might be true.
But now, the humans love you and your ideas. They go to your exhibitions and admire you all the more. How was the reception of your last piece? I liked that statue.
Define deceit. Oh, they can stop looking at it. The eyes, especially.
My eyes, you mean?
Yes. They said it was too good to be just a sculpture and wanted to know who my inspiration was.
And what did you tell them?
That it's a secret. I think they want you for their own work.
I'd be long dead before inspiring a human. Once they find out what I am, my head will be an exhibition. Eat. What? You worried about me? Don't be. I know how to run, remember? And you said you'd protect me.
Well,
What, Enzo?
I've been hearing whispers.
And what do these whispers say?
That some in my circle think I'm engaging in rituals, dark magic from my muse. I could tell they're becoming suspicious. Maybe not of me, but something.
And you're afraid of them? They have nothing. Only speculation. What, they think I'm the demon that grants you what you wish?
Probably my art changed drastically. It's not uncommon to see a new perspective on life that makes you create something different. But I think it's the subject. You.
Maybe they hate the thought of being attracted to the very thing they despise. And they can't help it. Do they think you're trying to seduce them to hell?
I wouldn't doubt it, yes.
That's a good idea for your next statue. An offering to a devil. Make them squirm even more.
Dontis, this is serious. I've done well so far being undetected.
And you can continue doing it. Why not compel them? You are stronger than all of them combined.
I can't compel them all. We talk to one another about art, and they will talk to people I don't know. It would be stranger if a whole group forgets or misremembers things about my work. And killing them would only bring more attention and prove their fear.
You're too kind, and they don't deserve it. They've admired your work, but are ready to condemn you just like that. It doesn't matter what you've brought to the world. It doesn't matter how you've made them feel. They're only kind to you because they think you're one of them.
And we need to live that way in order to survive and be among them. What greatness is there hiding in the shadow of their hate?
And what do? You add credence to their hate. You agree with their opinions because if you don't, it will make you look like a malignant idolizer. Then you'll be excluded and discounted. A pariah. Is that what you want to keep? Your status?
I don't want to be hunted, do you?
No, I don't. But they won't suspect me. I can take out my horns, wait to heal, and I'd look like anyone else. From a different country, maybe, but human still. Florence has been letting people in from all over recently. It won't take much to blend in. Or for you. If you're really that worried, then move. Go to another city or another country and start again.
Like you've been doing your whole life.
Yes, that's what I've been doing. Because that is how I've lived for so long. If I catch any sign that danger is coming my way, I'll leave. I'll move somewhere else
And become another's muse.
Oh, you don't like the sound of that? If they find out that you're a vampire, then your protection means nothing to me. They'll kill you quicker than they kill me.
So, these few years have meant nothing to you?
Do not twist my words. You know what I mean. I'm not as strong as you. I'm not as old as you. But for my kind, I hear surviving 1 century is a blessing. I will be 80 this year. And for me to reach this far, I did what I had to. I trusted, and I was betrayed several times over. My wounds might have healed, but the scars are still branded beneath my flesh. The difference between you and I is that they will just kill you. For me, do you know what they do to my kind?
No.
They break you in ways you couldn't imagine. If we're unlucky, they show us their way of mercy. Another day to live. Like I need their mercy. A slice to the neck is more merciful than throwing us out on the streets again. But we have to pretend that we're shattered. Only then do they pull back. And once they do, once they think they've taken everything and there's nothing left of us, that's when we attack. I'm not like you, Lorenzo. I cannot settle on a false future I may not have, and one I have no love for to begin with.
I would protect you until the end. You've changed my life too much to give you up.
Don't be dramatic.
I'm not. I wanted to sculpt and make a name for myself without compulsion. If I started all of this with a lie, I'd have to keep at it for years and to many people. But I did not want to cheat my passion. The moment I set my eyes on you, I wanted you. And ever since, my hands have been eager for my tools, not even for my own original ideas. They pale in comparison.
But what you've made with me
Have all started with you, at its base. I can't explain it, but I know that I found my calling through you. I know that with you by my side, I will create things unlike the world has ever seen. But only if you stay with me.
You've already made such incredible art. Look at that. Haunting and beautiful. And a sculpture that can only be made by these hands.
But you'll forget me.
Never. No matter who I am with, I will always remember Lorenzo Cellini, the vampire prince of Florence, who, without, I'd be dead.
Is that all I am? Your savior?
Right now, you're my lover.
Until it's inconvenient for you.
That was the agreement, was it not? I give, you give. Or... It was the worst mistake. He did what no being should have done, that even the wisest cannot control. He loved me, and I could not give it in return. In his eyes swam a pain I had never been allowed to see, the secret he kept closest to his heart. He knew what I would do if I found out, and I was ready to run in that moment. But for the first time, I was stopped by a strange yearning to heal him, comfort him, to embrace the unbreakable and soothe his fears of being alone once again. And despite my own warnings, despite my mind yelling at me to go, I realized it was also my fear. I had so blindly drowned in a state of bliss that I almost forgot what hell awaited me outside these walls. But I had grown addicted to him, much to my dismay. I stayed in his home as a guest until the beginning of 1474, where hatred for malignants was at its peak. Jealousy of Lorenzo's vision changed to suspicion, and artists envious of his talents accursed him. And so, I had outstayed my welcome. You did not have to come.
Yes, I did. I couldn't say goodbye in Florence and wonder all my life if you ever reach Livorno. I have to make sure.
And the ship. The captain is like us.
Yes. He's one of the best, so I know you're in good hands.
Not in yours anymore.
Does that relieve you?
As much as I like the freedom, I acquired a taste for finer things.
As did I. And I don't think I'll find anything sweeter than my muse.
Oh, please. Is that meant to make me stay?
No, I want you to take my words with you. I don't know when you'll hear them again, so keep them close.
What will you do now?
I'm not sure. Italy is my home, and staying is more dangerous now than ever. I'd leave with you, but I have unfinished business here, and you're not one to share burdens. I know that. I'd be asking too much of you.
This war is too much for me. I'm not a fighter. I can barely protect myself. We will always be treated like malignants, hunted. They will never stop, and you know this. There is no pride in dying for a future that is already against us. It's a waste.
You've already surrendered to them.
I just know my place in this world.
I'm only now starting to understand mine, and I'm almost 240 years old. You're too young to know it yet, and I hope someone out there will change your mind.
Well, maybe you're right. But I'm willing to wager you're not.
What are you wagering?
10-year horns.
You're so confident that you'd isolate yourself for 10 years growing them.
Yes. I've never been able to grow them that long, so I'm curious to know what they'd look like.
Magnificent, I assume.
What will you bet?
I will wager all my wealth if you change your mind the next time we meet.
You don't know when that will be. If ever.
Then what's the harm?
Fine. I accept.
Good. Then, I suppose this is farewell for now. Will you ever return?
It's too early to say. If you're right, and the war tempers, I'll honor the deal.
Then I'll be waiting.
Forgive me.
When we meet again.
I boarded the ship to Bastia with all my new possessions and gifts. Enough to start a new life. But their value weighed nothing compared to the heavy ache in my chest as Lorenzo waved with a smile on his face. I dared not look away. I carved that smile into memory, as he had done many times with me. And as he became a speck on the morning horizon, my heart hungered for him. Yet I hoped he could hear that last secret of mine. I do not know of his fate, if he fled or fought. I doubt I'll ever see him again. But strangely, I wish him all the love in the world. And for however long I live, I will hold him close and keep him a cherished secret.